Belizean Jam Roll is a simple but delicious dessert that's made by putting together two components, pie dough and jam. Notice I didn't say jelly, right? Because it's not jelly roll, it's jam roll. Now you can purchase the pie dough from the store and just put it together with the jam, or you can make the pie dough from scratch, and this is what I want to show you guys today. The simple way to make the pie dough and the simplest way I know how to make the jam roll. This is the way I do it, but most Belizeans know it like this. Now either way that you do it, it's still going to be delicious and it's going to be crunchy and just divine. Now let's start with how we make the pie dough. 4 cups of all-purpose flour, not sifted. This is the 4th cup. And you can put a cup and a half of just straight up shortening, but I'm going to split it. It's going to be 3/4 cup of shortening and 3/4 cup of butter. And because my butter is salted, I'm not going to add any salt, but if you are not using salted butter, go ahead and add a teaspoon of salt. And notice that my butter is softened to room temperature, right? And now because this is going to be a sweet pie dough, I'm going to add sugar. Now if this pie dough was going to be savory, I wouldn't have added the sugar, all right? 1 cup of regular white sugar. And then now all I have to do is mix this in. Well, you can use a pastry cutter, but your hand will work just as fine, all right? Because this dough is very forgiving. So you can mess with it with your hand. So now let me go ahead and start adding my cold water slowly. And I like to stay on this with the camera because I want you guys to see how it comes together, all right? So just very slowly, every time you find a dry spot, just pour more of the ice cold water. Just let me go ahead and work this in. More water. And here's another spot right here. More water. So just go slowly, all right? Don't be in a rush to just like pour all the water into it because you might mess up the dough. Now it's time to dump it out on the countertop. And we're not gonna need, I just wanna make it into a ball. So that's all I'm doing here. So now that it's in a ball, I'm just gonna flatten it a little bit. Then get some parchment and put it here. Oh, I didn't tear enough of the parchment. It's gonna be okay though. Fold it under and then put it in the fridge for at least 15 minutes. Alright guys, so you don't have to keep it in there longer than 15 minutes, but at least 15 minutes. It'll just make it a little bit easier to handle, alright? So take a piece off, put some flour, and I'm going to show you guys how I make the jam roll. And then I'm going to show you guys how regular Belizeans, when I say make, how they assemble it. Because jam roll is just pretty much pie dough and jam. By the way, do not use jelly. I've tried using jelly and it didn't come out good. Everything just kind of got really hard in the middle. Take your time and roll it out, right? Oh, by the way, see? I've got a baking dish lined with foil. You don't have to put the foil, but I do it because it makes for easier cleanup. It doesn't do anything to bake it better, it's just easier cleanup. Right, so normally I would set it and measure, blah, 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 but I want to show you guys quickly. Come on. Ooh, it's sticky. And just start rolling it onto the thing like this. Whatever part's not covered, we're gonna just patch it in there like a crossword puzzle. And this is the same way we're gonna do the top, all right? But let me just take care of the bottom first. Just piece it together. Don't leave it lapped over like this though, all right? And you don't want it to be too thick for the bottom piece, but you don't want foil peeking through either, right? Let me work on filling in the gaps. So let me roll out my piece of dough, set it here like a puzzle, and I'm going to cut off all the excess that's lapping over, all right? Now, can you tell me why 2 jars of jam is open in the house? Why? I'm not going to use those because I want to give these jam roll away to a friend. So I'm going to open a brand new jar of jam. Because who knows what they put in those jars. Most of the time it's a knife with peanut butter. Ooh, I opened it. I'm getting strong in my old age. Let me grab a spoon. You guys like my leaf rock? Ooh, it's getting dirty. Me and Joe made this. When I learn how to make it better, I'll do a tutorial on it, okay? I'll only do the sewing tutorial on things that I know how to do well. Now, jam has the actual fruit in it. It's thicker than jelly. Just a little bit more, so about half a jar. And this jar is a big jar. This is what, 32 ounces. Let's get some more of the dough, and I always do a smaller piece first. Spread the flour, and roll. So I roll this one into a perfect rectangle and just roll it up on the rolling pin. And I'm going to start here from the top. Just roll it out. Yeah, cut off the rest. And you can keep re-kneading and re-kneading this dough and it'll still be perfect, alright? Let me go ahead and knead this piece out again, because we have to cover the whole thing. So we're kind of like making a sandwich, right? Because we put dough on the bottom, the jam on the top, and then dough on the top. So I've rolled out a nice strip here, set it in. Make sure I cut off the excess that's lapping over because I don't want it to be too thick. And I got to work on this bottom piece here. Now instead of doing it on the rolling pin, I just kind of rolled it on itself and just roll it out. Simple, right? Still have a little spot here to fill. Let me cut off the excess. And what do you know? It will fit perfectly in that spot. Kind of like a puzzle. Let me seal up all my gaps. And then put breathing holes with a fork. This part's fun. I'm preheating the oven to 375 while I continue to poke my little holes. Even I don't have perfection when I'm doing stuff, okay? As long as the thing tastes good, that's where it's at. So let me set this aside. It's at 365 right now, the oven. Let me show you the old school way of doing the jam rolls. So you take the dough and you roll it out, just like I was doing, right? Trying to get all this flour. And you're gonna see why it's called jam rolls. So roll your dough out like so. Get it a little bit wider. And then, make sure I have enough space. Yeah. Put the jam right here. Well, Joe was asking too why we didn't put the jam all the way. That's the oven ready. Joe was asking why we didn't put the jam all the way to the end of the tray that we were doing. Well, it makes it harder for the dough to like find an edge to stick on, you know? So put the jam there. Fold it that way. Fold it that way. Okay? Get your fork, seal this end, seal this here end. Come on, thing. Don't stick it. And then still put little breathing holes. And then put it on the lined baking sheet. I'll do maybe 2 more like that, just to show the traditional way, so I don't get dragged through the mud. I like my way better. Let me tell you why. Once you piece that together like that, you pull that whole thing out when it's done, and you can just cut it into bars. With this, I just feel like it gives a little bit too much dough, you know, versus the jam ratio. But a lot of Belizean people like it like this, so I'm showing you both ways, guys. So just let me build the next 2. Then I'm going to stick it into my oven for about 10-15 minutes at 375. Then I'm going to drop the temperature down and let it cook all the way until it's crispy. That's a word. You can use it, all right? For the last one, guys, Joe came up with this idea right now. He wants me to spread the jam. I mean, this is do or die. If this comes out bad, it's on Joe. Spread the jam like this. And then he wants me to roll, because he goes, that's really jammy. He's laughing behind the camera.
Jam roll.
I don't know how this is going to go.
Keep on coming.
Some jam's going to ooze out right here at the end. Oh, that's going to be a holy mess, Joe. Why did I listen to Joe, guys? Get this jam off.
Seal the end.
Oh my God, this is going to be a mess. You guys, we'll see this. I don't know, I'm going to seal it. Maybe we should have put less jam. Okay, good luck. Bye, little jam roll. Good luck. Oh. Well, I have these 2 because I thought the other one was going to be closer. All right, let's stick them in. I really don't trust the one that Joe had me make, so I'm going to set it in its own aluminum foil before I set it back on the tray, because I really feel like it's going to leak a lot. So now they're ready. Into the oven they go. And these take a while to bake because we want them to be crispy, so they go for about 1 hour and 20 minutes. It smells beautiful in here right now, as you can imagine. Now look at this one, see? This is why I really don't like to roll it the old-fashioned way, because I always lose some of my jam. The way I do it, we don't lose any jam. Look at Joe's. Messy. So now you see why I don't like to do it like this, the authentic traditional way. I'm sure I could have sealed the ends a little bit better so that the jam wouldn't ooze out like this. Joe's thing right here, I don't know. We're gonna decide on that after we cut it open. But look at this. Beautiful, right? To serve for a party or potluck, anything like that. I'm gonna wait for it to cool down completely before I take the whole thing out and then cut this into bars. So then I just come here and cut them into bars. Kind of like you would do with brownies or lemon bars. And to me, this distributes just the right amount of jam to dough ratio. The kids call it a Pop-Tart. They're like, Mom, it's like a Pop-Tart. Just sweet enough for you to have with tea or coffee. See, right? Now let's take a look at these right here. This is Joe's concoction. Oh, it's all jammed in there like candy. Okay. That's what's gonna happen if you do jelly too, alright? It's gonna ooze out and do that. So it's rolled, like Joe said, jam roll. You know, some of the Belizean stuff just has a name because it has a name. The name doesn't signify anything. So this is the old school type jam roll. Oh, I don't want to cut that off. Let's take that part off. See? See how that's one fold is there, and then it's flipped over here, and then you see jam in the middle. And yeah, this jam roll, I don't really like a jam roll like this, so I've changed it to make it be like this, and it serves up better like if you're having a tea party. So I'm going to cut all this. Oh, let me show you a better one. This is what Belizean people would know. And I'll go take my thumbnail pictures. Well, you know what? I can taste before I go take the thumbnail picture. All right, let me go ahead and taste. This is not my mom's recipe, but she was the one that told me to trade out some of the shortening for butter. But she loved this. This was my signature thing that I always made for her. And even towards the end when she couldn't eat much, she would get a little nibble and bite a piece of that, and she'd go, oh my God. So this is what, I would say this is what I'm good at. And if you invite me to one of your parties, this is what I might bring. I want to thank you guys for watching the show as always. Frog in my throat. Share it for me. Don't forget to follow, subscribe, like, and all that good stuff. And I'll see you guys next video. Bye. I just came back in from doing the thumbnail, and I wanted to show you, see, the pans are not dirty. So this is what I'm talking about, less cleanup if you put the aluminum foil, all right?